You know those two guys from work who won't shut up about football, but are pretty damn entertaining? Well, they decided to buy a couple microphones. And with that, we welcome you to the CheesyCorn Sports Podcast, where Justin Adams and Martin Chaney wrangle over everything college football and NFL. Bold predictions, hot takes, and live game reactions. This is CheesyCorn Sports.
Welcome in, everybody. Yeah. Welcome into CheesyCorn Sports presents Friday Night Lights. We are here December the 1st. Coming at you. We're going to be recapping all of week 12 to include the Thanksgiving games. We got some fun stuff going on there. And then we're also going to be recapping last night's Thursday night, actual good Thursday night football game. You know, wouldn't mind a couple more of those. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to recap. What the hell's going on here? Sorry about that. Little fucking ads popping up on ESPN. Come on now. We're going to be recapping my starts and sits of last week. Fair warning, couple home run hits. Everything else, not so much. Justin's not here. Something came up last minute, so he will not be able to join the live with us tonight. But that's okay, because we are going to be getting some call-ins later in the show to kind of just, hang out, talk shit. Hey, it's Friday night. It's what we do. And we're just going to have a nice, chill night. So with that being said, appreciate you guys coming on in. If you guys like the content, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the follow button, subscribe button, whatever platform you're watching on. Go ahead and hit whatever that corresponding button is. And stay tuned for all the more CheesyCorn Sports action. We're here every Friday night with weekly recaps and weekly previews. And then we're also doing our every Sunday morning live, coined the name OnlyFantasy, for all your last-minute start-sit questions in regards to fantasy footballs. And then, of course, we're going to go over our starts and sits of the week, our locks and underdogs of the week as well. And we're just going to have a great time. Great time. But before I do that, before we get into everything here, right, let me go ahead. And if I can find it here. There it is. Let me go ahead and let's bring her on to the screen. Boom. That's terrible. What the hell? That's better. Okay. Huge thank you to the show sponsor, GG Seasoning over at Senegal and Beyond here in Phoenix. GG Seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, is the official seasoning of CheesyCorn Sports. Go ahead and use code CheesyCorn for 10% off at checkout. This seasoning goes great on absolutely anything, really the epitome of what you want in an all-purpose seasoning. So make sure you guys get some. It's absolutely wonderful. Huge shout out to both Gigi and Matt. You guys are a godsend when it comes to our sponsors. So thank you for sponsoring the show today. We got a few homies in the chat. We got Jackson, good friend of the show, says, "What's up, NFL and CheesyCorn Sports Nation?" Absolutely. Of course, good friend and heated rival of the show, Chris Owen, a little woot woot in the chat. And of course, Derek, what's going on, man? As I said before, Justin's not going to be with us tonight. Last minute little run out of the house came up, and we didn't want to push it. So it's just me tonight. But with that being said, let's go and let's get into week 12 recap, right? So I got up the scoreboard from last week. We'll start with the Thanksgiving games. We'll give our thoughts, our comments. Our wonderful producer, Corey, is going to go ahead and drop in a call-in link if you guys want to call in as I'm going through these games. And we can both talk about, what we liked, what we didn't like in each game. And we're gonna have a good time. So we'll get that link in the comments below. And also we're also going to get the links for GG Seasoning. We'll get those in the links as well as the description of the live as well. That way you guys have it if you guys need it. So with that being said, let's go and let's talk about, of course, the first game on the slate. It was the early morning game on Thanksgiving Thursday. The emergence of Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Yes, I know it sounds biased that this is the game we're starting with, but it was the very first game of the week. So that's what we're going to roll with. Jordan Love, 3 passing touchdowns, right? I think it was like 260, 270 passing yards. I can pull the game cast up here real quick. Or I guess the box score. Yeah, 268 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks for Mr. Jordan Love on the day. Looked damn good. Put up 20 points in the first quarter. That was the most points that they put up in the first quarter. Most points they put up in the first half all season long, and was able to get the surprising victory over the Detroit Lions, winning 29-22. Jared Goff had a couple costly strip sacks. One of them that was brought back for a touchdown at the beginning of the game by Mr. Jonathan Owens. David Montgomery also had himself a touchdown. Mon-Ra St. Brown almost had 100 receiving yards on 9 catches. You know what? As far as fantasy football goes, this is exactly what you wanted in the game, right? Christian Watson finally showed up for the first time really all year long. This is the first time that you really saw what you drafted him to be, right? That's exactly what you wanted. But I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't really know if this is something to really expect out of Green Bay. I don't know if this is something to expect out of Detroit. However, they have struggled in 2 back-to-back division opponent games, being against Chicago and now Green Bay, who to 98% of the NFL fan base would consider as the worst of the 2 opponents that they could have faced in the division, Minnesota being the other. So we'll see here. Detroit does have New Orleans on the slate this upcoming week, so that'll be a good opportunity for them to kind of get back. And we'll see. We'll see what happens here, right? But moving on, Green Bay half game out of the wild card. Minnesota 6-6 with a game on Monday night that we'll get to. But moving on, the Dallas Cowboys absolutely destroyed the Washington Commanders, 45-10 on Thanksgiving. I'm not going to talk too much on this game specifically, just because Dallas has already played another game. So we'll talk more about Dallas when we get to Thursday Night Football recap later in the show. But Dallas looked absolutely strong in this game. Sam Howell, we're riding the wave with Sam Howell, right? Sometimes he's wonderful, other times he's not. The QB4 in PPR formats in fantasy football, number 8 overall, is pretty tremendous, but he is the most sacked quarterback in the league. And, he does have Philly and Dallas in his division. So like those kind of games really just not the best, but what are you going to do? Right. Anyway, moving on. The San Francisco 49ers with a nice win over the Seattle Seahawks. 31-13. Christian McCaffrey really led the way on that one. 19 carries, 114 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. That was just on the ground. Hold on, we can pull up the receiving numbers as well. Also put up 5 catches for 25 yards on 6 targets. Brandon Ayuk was having, he had 1 big catch, and then he was kind of quiet, and then boom, all of a sudden, touchdown. That was his only 2 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Let's see, what else here? Deebo Samuel had a rushing touchdown on top of 7 catches for 79 yards. And that was really I would say that's really it. George Kittle didn't do much. 3 catches, 19 yards. On the Seattle side of the ball, right? That was, Zach Charbonnet's first look at a full workload. Didn't really do a lot. Was pretty inefficient. He had 4 catches for only 11 yards through the air. Had 14 carries, but only for 47 yards on the ground, no touchdowns. We'll get more to Seattle again when we talk about Thursday night recap, because there's a lot more telling in that game than there was in this game, really. So We'll break here. We'll get a nice little question here. Justin Reed, Josh Downs, or T. Higgins? I think you mean Jaden Reed against Kansas City, Josh Downs or T. Higgins. Off the top of my head, I want to say Josh Downs. T. Higgins, one, his health is a question mark as it has been for the past month. Two, we don't know what the Cincinnati offense is even doing anymore. And three, Jaden Reed has been banged up this past week with a chest injury. I'd like to say that it was when Jordan Love absolutely planted that touchdown on him on Thanksgiving. But, it is what it is. Jaden Reed still expects to play, but I would much rather go with Josh Downs here just because his matchup's really good. I can't remember exactly who we had here. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Josh Downs. Who are you playing this week? You're playing Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is garbage. That confirms everything I want to say. Josh Downs. And then also, what about Christian Watson? I see you, Chris. I'll get you up here in a second. Christian Watson. If you're only starting one, I would still say Josh Downs. I would put Christian Watson over T. Higgins. I don't know if I would put Christian Watson over Jaden Reed because Jaden Reed has really been an integral piece of this Green Bay offense out of the slot. Specifically, they give him a lot of touches on end arounds and jet sweeps and all that stuff. So maybe, yeah, I would go with Josh Downs. Appreciate the question. Absolutely love the engagement in the comment section as well. So we'll continue with our Week 12 recap here as we move off of the Thanksgiving games. And in order to do so, before we get into the Friday game here, the Friday, what was it? Was it the Germany game? I think it was. I think that's where it was. We're going to bring in good friend of the show, Mr. Christopher Owen. What does that say on your – hold on here. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Beautiful. Let me – hold on. Let me see here. I just want to see. Bryce Young Sucks Fan Club. That's what it is. Yeah, I wanted to see what it was. I love it. Thanks for coming on into the show, dude. I thought you had to work tonight.
I do. I have to work in 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
I decided to grace you with my presence.
I appreciate it. Well, let's get through some games here, shall we, before you have to get going?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Miami Dolphins beat the New York Jets in Germany last week. Very convincing fashion. Raheem Mostert really led the way, 94 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle was actually the leading receiver, even though Tyreek Hill got into the end zone. Jalen Waddle, 8 catches, 114 yards. That's exactly what you wanted to see on a week-to-week basis out of Jalen Waddle this year. But it's been kind of up and down with him. But what were your thoughts on this game? This was Tim Boyle's first start, I believe.
Yeah. It went like I thought it would. Jets are a bad team. Dolphins beat up on bad teams.
Yep.
No matter how it seems to be that, like, no matter how good the defense is or even the secondary, you can't really stop Tyreek Hill. You just can't. And then on top of that, you're so focused on trying to stop Tyreek Hill. Then you got Jalen Waddle, who led in receiving. And it just kind of they do that. The Dolphins have the ability to really just screw up really good defenses with all the threats that they have. If you're able to pass the ball like so freely with Waddle and Hill and all that stuff, then it opens up the run. And Mostert had a big game and all that other stuff. It went kind of just like how I thought, and it is really hurting Breece Hall's stock in fantasy with how just abysmal. And like Garrett Wilson caught a touchdown. Good for him. I really thought that was going to go to Breece, but that you can't. They're becoming touchdown dependent. Both Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson are becoming touchdown dependent players, and that's not really who you want going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I will say to Garrett Wilson's point, right? It's not a matter of I don't think it's him necessarily being touchdown dependent. It's the catchable pass dependent, right? I mean, week 11 against Buffalo, he had 2 catches for 9 yards. He also fumbled, so he ended it with negative 0.1 fantasy points.
Yep.
On the flip side, he had 8 targets in that game.
Yeah.
Last week, he did finish with 17 points, right?
Yep.
7 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
But he had 10 targets. So the target share is not coming down, which is good. That's very promising. And, it's really the efficiency piece of it. And then looking over at Brees, right? And we'll touch on his injury here in a second as well. He's still getting that 16 opportunities a game.
Yeah.
Right? Week 11 against Buffalo, he had 10 carries, was wildly inefficient on the ground. 10 carries for 23 rushing yards. But he had 5 receptions on 6 targets for 50 yards and a touchdown through the air, which allowed him to get 18. Last week, only 7 rushes on the ground. Again, inefficient with only 25 rushing yards, but 9 targets, 7 receptions, 24 yards. That's kind of if you are a Garrett Wilson or a Breece Hall manager, which I feel like a couple of us in this might be, those are the type of things that you have to like bring to the light in order to make yourself feel better about it, right?
Yeah.
And so, the workload's not going down, which is good. And keep in mind, make the playoffs, make it to the second round. Got that bad man, that God among men coming back, baby.
Oh, God.
Went down to Mexico, got himself a nice little surgery, and he's going to be coming back. He's going to sling 7 touchdowns week 16.
Doesn't he have a brother, Aaron Rodgers?
He does.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he had his brother kidnapped and then surgically removed his Achilles and implanted it into himself. I'm
okay with that because his brother's a dick.
Yeah. I am like, all I wanted to see this year was the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, and that was taken away within 4 plays.
Now, on the bright side, hear me out. Week 16, he comes back. You know who they're playing week 16? The Washington fucking Commanders.
That is a great matchup, but I am so afraid that he is going to get injured again, and then he is not going to come back in time for the next season. Like, I get it. I get how he looks,
like Booby Miles-ish.
Yeah, I get how he looks, and I get that. Oh, he's on the field, he's practicing. Oh my God! For all we know, that Achilles is being held together by bobby pins. Oh God! Just wait. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not. It's not going to happen. There are too many teams in the AFC. The AFC North alone will probably knock out the Jets from the playoffs.
You got to think here, right? I mean, not the Patriots. Patriots are fucking shit. But looks like Miami's going to win the division.
Yes.
You're going to have Buffalo get in on a wild card spot.
Maybe.
Well, I'm just saying because they've won 2 in a row now, so they're 7-5. I think they are.
The Bills?
Yeah.
No, they're 6-6.
Ooh, yikes!
Yeah, they just lost to the Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
well, you got to think about the teams in the AFC though. You got Baltimore. You've got the Steelers. You've got the Jags. You've got who else? I'm trying to think. AFC, the Chiefs.
Houston.
These are
Indianapolis is somehow up there.
They're a top 10 scoring offense.
Yep.
The Jets are not going to make the playoffs. No. As much as I wanted them to, and I wanted them to have a great year, they're just not because they didn't have a backup plan if their 40-year-old quarterback were to get a season-ending injury.
I think what you're looking at there, right, is get Aaron Rodgers out there to show that, to at least appease the ownership, to let them know, hey, no, it was the quarterback. It was.
It's not Robert Saleh. It's not me.
Boyle. If Rodgers hadn't gotten hurt, we would have been amazing. So I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to show that in like week 16 or whatever. And save fucking
Saleh.
Thank you. Save Saleh's job and stuff like that.
If you have to risk your superstar quarterback to save your job, like I guess the way I'm looking at it is if the ownership really looked at the situation and said, man, it wasn't Zach Wilson, what are you looking at? Like Zach Wilson, besides the one game against the Chiefs, has played like dog shit. Complete.
I feel like there was a couple games where he played okay.
Even then, I don't think that's enough.
Let's see. Nope, never mind. Just the one. Well, okay. I mean, the Giants game.
No,
never mind. He had two fumbles in that game. Never mind.
Yeah, what did that game come down to? A fucking field goal that should not have decided the game. That game should have been the Jets game by 50.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But yeah, we can move on to the next game if you're ready.
We'll kind of rapid fire through here. Next game on the slate, the Falcons beat the Saints for sole control of the NFC South. Yes, I agree. Because this is not how Arthur Smith gets fired. If they win the division, they're going to fucking re-sign him to an extension. But I will say this. I think he did hear us because Bijan Robinson has had a workload. Finally, right?
He didn't hear us. He heard his GM.
Bijan Robinson, week 10, 22 carries, 95 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Hallelujah. Then he had the bye week. Came back next week, 16 carries, 91 yards on the ground, and another touchdown on the ground with 6 more targets through the air, 3 of them being caught for 30 yards, and it was a beautiful reception touchdown for Bijan. Absolutely loved it. Bijan has crawled back into the top 10 ranks of RBs. He's RB 10 on the year again, which I'm ecstatic for. He has the Jets this next week. Then he has Tampa the week after, Carolina, Indianapolis, Chicago. Bijan Robinson could finish as a top 5 running back the rest of the season.
Wow, you're telling me Bijan Robinson is a talented running back that has the capability to do that?
Here we go again.
Jesus Christ. I don't think everyone understands the shift that has occurred within the last 8 years of the NFC South from the quarterbacks we had to the quarterbacks we have is ridiculous.
You sound like Tom Brady. You say they're all mediocre.
Yes, they're awful. And then on top of that, remember, oh God, what was it? The years before the Eagles Super Bowl, so like 16, 15, 14. What do we call the NFC East? The NFC least, because we have become what they were, getting these dog shit 8 and 9 fucking teams hosting playoff games, just to be like a Division III football team against Alabama for the first round. Like it's disgusting. It grosses me out.
I agree, and you know what? I don't think you and me can talk about this enough to do it justice. So I think we need to bring one more person in here.
Oh, God.
Now, back from overseas, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yay Dangles, John Smith. Welcome into the show. Great to see you. Great to see you back stateside. Absolutely love it. First of all, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Great, John.
Doing wonderful.
I'm dropping 150 plus.
For context, John and Chris here are playing each other across 3 different leagues. Every single league they're in, they're playing each other. 3 different games. Did one of you have DK Metcalf in a league, by the way? John had DK Metcalf. Although, Chris, you started Geno Smith, right?
And I started him in the Dynasty League.
There you go. See, we'll get to that game here in a second, but just wanted, it's good to see the family back together. That's all I'm saying. John, we were just talking about the Falcons and Saints game where the Falcons somehow are now in control of the NFC South by themselves.
Right.
And then that kind of spiraled into the power shift over the last, half decade or so, the NFC East going from a yearly 7-9 division winner to now you have the Eagles and Cowboys duking it out for the NFC spot.
And last year, the Giants made the playoffs, too, at the 3 seed in their division.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with that being said, it looks like the NFC South has definitely taken that NFC least spot because they have arguably the worst NFL organization ever known to man within it, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. But what are your thoughts here on the state of the NFC South?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that the South has definitely taken over being one of the NFC least. The fact that there's not the Falcons are, what's their record?
The Falcons are 5-6 now? Or
okay.
6?
Worst division in football, not just in the NFC.
Yeah, so the fact that they're not even 500 in that division, or just in the NFC in general, and they're still going to get a spot at the table, is going to be bad. And the Falcons, Arthur Smith, I'm not going to curse on this show because I don't want to get you demonetized, but
you can curse all you want.
Okay, buddy. Fuck Arthur Smith. I literally everyone wants to talk shit on Frank Reich, and I know he's to be honest, that's more upper management, even above him, of an issue, and he's more of the scapegoat. But I mean, that's what you sign up for when you become an NFL head coach. Yeah. But no, dude, Arthur Smith, the talent that he has wasted. Kyle Pitts on any other team, and I don't say this normally, Kyle Pitts on any other team is just as good, if not better, than a TJ Hawkinson, a Kittle, a Sam Laporta. You get him in an offense where the coach allows the quarterback to throw the ball more than 10 times, and Kyle Pitts is a stud every week. And then what he's done to Bijan Robinson's rookie year is a crime. That he should be placed before the High Council. Yeah. But to answer the question simply, that division, man, is just sad. Anytime I see one of my players is playing in that division, I'm just yes.
Well, I think this division has given us a couple little gems in the fantasy football world this year, right? Some players that may not have necessarily gotten their fair shot elsewhere, but because the teams and rosters are so bad, they've been allowed to shine, i.e. Adam Thielen. Nobody thought 33-year-old Adam Thielen was going to be – hold on, I can give you the exact fucking number he is.
He's fell off in the last few weeks.
Though. He's still the wide receiver 11 on the year. He has had 2 games all year under 10 points, one of them being last week against Tennessee, which is actually very, very abysmal because Tennessee's defense is garbage. But, yeah, Adam Thielen is one. The other one that comes to mind for me, at least, is Rachaad White. Rachaad White would not have gotten the starting running back spot anywhere else, right? Yep. However, Rachaad White is one of the best receiving running backs in the NFL this year. Stats-wise, he even eclipsed 100 yards on the ground last week against Indianapolis. He's the RB7 on the season. I believe he is only He is only targeted less than Christian McCaffrey. I believe that is the only running back in the NFL that has more targets than Rachaad White this year. But
yeah,
we'll get to the Buccaneers later on. John, the next game on the slate here. Recap. Pittsburgh Steelers got a nice gritty win, the only way they know how, over the Cincinnati Bengals, led by one Jake Browning. Matt Canada went bye-bye, and hey, look at that, an offense. 421 yards of offense, season high against, let's throw some caveats here. Bengals defense is not good. We have called them out multiple times over the past couple weeks. Steelers defense was able to dominate the Bengals offense and put them in some good situations for them to capitalize. With that, what do you see? What do you see when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers out on the prestigious Acrisure Field?
Well, it's always going to be Heinz Field to me, but
Acrisure Stadium. Yep.
Hey man, I was okay with Three Rivers Heinz, but whatever it's called now, I drove by it probably like a day ago, and I got sick to my stomach not seeing that sweet red nectar coming out of those bottles that they used to have it for the Heinz ketchup. But anyways, no, one, I wanted to tell Owen, did he see my new nickname or my new title?
Oh, yes. John now is I'm going to parlay my wins against Owen. That's a good one.
But no, to answer it, I love it, man. Matt Canada, he just, I get it. If you're offensive coordinator and, you got a quarterback who's coming out of an injury, or you just have a really young team and you want to be, safe and you want to make really safe plays. But I'm sorry, what they did to, George Pickens has kind of an attitude issue, but that's fine. You want that in a good receiver. So but what he was doing was Pickens, and the fact that we have Allen fucking Robinson on our team. I know he's old, but he's the same age as a D Hop or a Diggs. He's in his early 30s, albeit Adam Thielen is doing fine in his 30s, and the fact that they're not getting him more involved. With Matt Canada gone, I want to see Allen Robinson more involved. I want to see Deontay Johnson revert from being Sir Drop a lot to just Sir Catch a lot and just get all these PPR points. And then what I do really like, though, I will say, is that the combination of having Jalen Warren mix in with Najee and having that 1-2 punch it's bringing back memories of the Willie Parker. There he is. There he is, that cuck.
Talk about him. Keep going. You're good.
But no, I don't want to take up the whole show. But basically, seeing Najee and Jalen Warren with that 1-2 punch, man, it's I haven't seen that since the Willie Parker, Jerome Bettis days, and it honestly really feels good to see running backs succeed in Pittsburgh again, because a lot of people thought that when Le'Veon Bell left, that Pittsburgh was just we were going to have another good running back one day, but we would have to start him in the practice squad and bring him all the way up 3-4 years later. And to see Najee and Jalen Warren do their thing is great. And I think that the defense will always be great in Pittsburgh, and as long as they put offensive yards on the table, we'll be good. And hey, we're number, I believe, 4 or 5, third in the AFC North, and I think that we could jump the what is it? The Ravens are 9-3. We're 7-5.
7-4. Yep.
7-4. Mm-hmm. And then the Browns. The Browns. We need to jump the Browns, I believe.
So that we can actually use this as a perfect segue, right? Let's break down the AFC playoff picture, because there are some teams in here that I don't think any of us had going into the season, especially the ones that are in the hunt or right on the cusp of being in the hunt, right? Yeah. So you got Baltimore at the 1 seed currently at 9-3. Kansas City at 8-3. They're about to be 8-4 after they lose to Green Bay on Sunday. Jordan Love masterclass, loading. We get it. He's amazing. We don't have to keep harping on it. Jacksonville Jaguars at the 3 seed after their sorry, Corey, their pretty questionable victory over the Houston Texans. Some pretty questionable calls.
I love Jacksonville this year.
I like Jacksonville too. They beat the Texans on some pretty questionable calls. And I'm saying this by proxy because Justin is not here, but I know for a fact that Justin definitely wants. I don't know what's happening down here.
I think Corey's joining.
Yeah. But anyway, specifically, there was a 90-yard or 75-yard bomb to Tank Dell. Got called back for illegal shift. There was none. Absolutely none. Completely killed me fantasy-wise, actually, because I started Tank Dell in the league. And then later on, there was a sideline catch. Both toes completely, clearly dragged, both inbounds, and they called it incomplete. They called it incomplete on the field. They reviewed it, and then they still called it incomplete. It was atrocious, but yeah.
No, I agree with you. Like, I think that game isn't a great example. I mean, to be able to keep up though was for Trevor Lawrence to be able to keep up with how great CJ Stroud has been this year.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've been a big Calvin Ridley fan for a lot of years, partly because he is a degenerate gambler as well as I am. The fact that they're getting Calvin involved, Christian Kirk is involved.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I see for Jacksonville that they really need to be able to start doing better is running the ball and get these play actions going. Get ETN is an elite level running back. I'm sorry, but giving him the ball right up the middle, Trevor, you're 6'6", 6'5", extend those goddamn arms out, do a play action, and get my man Travis Etienne some of these big holes, push that defense to one side or the other and get him, just get him involved on the ground. I really see big things for Jacksonville this year, as well as Houston. I was going to say a little thing about Houston as well. I know that's Justin's team. I got actually nothing bad to say about them other than their running backs, but that's my biggest thing. For a team to succeed, just like I said with the Steelers, getting the run game going, you have to have a run game. And with Jacksonville, they have it. They got, I like Ernest Johnson coming in and kind of being like a Tony Pollard back in 2019, 2020, getting these big plays. But you need ETN getting much more than 2-3 yards a carry. And then just quickly to caveat over to Houston for the same thing. I don't think Dameon Pierce is the future. I like him. I think that he was decent in college. I don't think that he complements CJ Stroud enough. I don't think he's a good enough. I mean, he's not a good enough pass blocker in general. He doesn't protect CJ Stroud that well. I would like to see Singletary or one of these running backs that are unhappy in the league, like a Dalvin Cook, probably my favorite running back after Todd Gurley. I would like to see one of them go to Houston. I don't know what anyone thinks about that. It's just my little 2 cents.
So I'm going to give you my take on it, and then I'm going to pull Justin from the comments with actual statistical analysis on it.
Nice.
So, first of all,
he is the MVP.
Houston stopped Jacksonville 7 times at the goal line, and they kept getting bailed out by these defensive holds. And we're just given a whole new set of downs until they finally score. Happened multiple times.
Yeah.
Second, to Justin's point, Houston doesn't have any run blocking. They got the tackles, which is great. It's allowing CJ Stroud to throw the ball downfield, let the play develop, which is great. Their run blocking, however, is atrocious. And here's more evidence. Houston leads the league in running back contact behind the line of scrimmage. I don't care if you're fucking Barry Sanders or Walter Payton. If you can't even get back to the line consistently, that's a fucking issue. Like, go out, get some interior fucking linemen. I'm pretty sure Houston has multiple first-round picks this year, or they have one in multiple seconds or something like that. Go out, get some interior linemen, go spend a little bit in free agency, and really shore up the inside of that line that will allow you to get that push off the line, and then you can have, Damian Pierce, Devin Singletary, like all of them kind of go. You've seen Flash. What's up?
Real quickly, though, like I get that. I 100% agree with Justin. That's his team. He's going to scrutinize them and have like all the statistics that he has, which I 100% respect. And if I talk out of turn, that's more of me just being like the casual viewer of their team. Mm-hmm. But I will put this out there though. If your quarterback's able to throw 300-400 yards a game, and your running backs can barely get 50 yards rushing, it's what I said before. Like, get that play action going. They already respect C.J. Stroud's legs. They respect his arm. You should be able to get like outside. Getting hit behind the line though and leading the league in that is awful. So
well, that's running back contact. So
running back contact. Yeah, that is awful. So I may ease up on them a little bit, but like I do think that they're going to just have to deal with the line that they got this year, and they're going to have to make something work with that.
Well, yeah, because, and they are right. They're 6-5. Like, nobody expected Houston to, one, have a winning record, and two, be a fucking game or a tiebreaker out of the 7th seed right now. Like, it's hard to use play action.
AJ McCarron would be so proud.
Sucks. If your run game sucks, the defense is not going to respect the play action. You know what I mean? They're not going to bite, and they're just going to continue to just bear down on CJ Stroud. Therefore,
you think Andre Johnson might come back this year for this?
No more than Hines Ward would.
You mean Antoine Randall?
Yeah, exactly. Greatest Super Bowl pass in Steelers history.
Steelers had some real characters back then.
Yeah, they did. But
Antonio Holmes.
Yep. So, but I feel like we spent enough time on Jacksonville and now Houston. So let's keep moving through this AFC playoff picture here, right? Because you have Miami at 4, which is we talked about them winning the division earlier. Buffalo's struggling to get some wins right now. New York is struggling to get a first down, and the Patriots are struggling to get Mac Jones off the bench.
Oh, God. I hate that.
So Miami's going to win that division regardless. But I don't think they're going to – they're not going to do much in the playoffs.
They're not. Their defense is such a liability.
So what is it? Only the 1 seed gets the first round bye, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Kansas City right now would play the 7 seed in the Colts. Jacksonville would play Cleveland, and then you would have Miami play Pittsburgh. As it currently stands right now. Obviously, there some shifting around going on later towards the end of the year, but yeah,
I'll take Pittsburgh in that game.
Well, so here's the interesting part, right? It'll be in Miami. So, I don't know. We shall see.
I don't think that matters.
I don't think, if anything, I would love, obviously, in a perfect world, to have Miami and Tua CTE boy come up to Pittsburgh in the wintertime and try to play it. I don't give a fuck what it's called now, Apparatus Stadium, whatever. It's Heinz
Acrisure Stadium. Let's put some respect on the good name.
Heinz Field, when it's snowing and windy, the wind coming off the 3 rivers. I would love to see CTE boy just get absolutely. Is it? I can say anything, or is it just like you can't?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not. want to say fuck, but let's.
I would love to see.
Let's say that's the only F word that we can go with.
I would love to see just Tua get absolutely by fucking TJ Watt and the rest of the new and improved solid curtain, the steel curtain of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Justin's going to come back, and there's going to be no more channel because it'll have gotten taken down.
No, I won't say anything that I'm not supposed to. But I wanted to basically emphasize that TJ Watt he's going to make Tua just. Oh my gosh, man! I can't say it. It's all right.
Well, one, it's not quite how concussions work. There's no, like CTE, yes. Overtime, absolutely. But having a previous concussion does not necessarily mean that that you're going to be hindered. This isn't a Achilles tear without experimental surgery, right? So, just not all their players are from Miami. I'm sure some are from cold places. And then, of course, Justin is pleading, don't get us demonetized before we get monetized.
No.
We would appreciate it.
No, there's nothing I'm going to say that would get you demonetized.
What are you doing? Here,
no, Justin, I get what you mean. Like, obviously, like a football team is comprised of people from all over, but I just think that their core team is kind of, I don't know. I just feel like they've gotten used to the warm weather, and they need to come up north and just feel the icy chills down their necks. As TJ Watt
Miami is a soft.
Coming to just slam the hammer down on them.
Yeah, Miami's pretty soft in their defense, and if they go against a defense like the Steelers, I think the Steelers win that pretty easily because look what happened. What was it? I know it's the Chiefs, right? But the Chiefs have not been playing like the Chiefs. Look what happened when they ran into that defense. They couldn't score the first half. They started to come back, but I don't think they have the ability to come back. They're front runners. They're front runner team. If they start getting behind, they can't come back.
Yeah. Well, can't all be Captain Comeback like Jordan Love, right? So
or Jalen Hurts.
That too.
I would like to say something about the Packers, if I may.
Well, hold on now. All right, we're talking about the AFC here. Let's get to the NFC. Before we start grating some cheese. Okay.
Yeah, like the Panthers hosting a playoff game.
I was Justin.
This is a
Justin
playoff
discussion.
discussion. We're not bringing up Carolina. Thank you.
They're in the hunt.
No, what? They're not.
They're in the hunt for the number one seed this year. Oh wait, they gave away all their draft capital. Never mind.
Oh, that's right. Hey,
Losers.
whoever the top quarterback of 2028 is, watch out. He's going to look good in Carolina blue.
We're gonna draft the next Tom Brady in the fucking 6th round.
Yeah, by then it'll probably be fucking Tom Brady's son. He'll be grown enough, old enough. Anyway.
I hope the Panthers just leave Carolina, dude. Send them to South Carolina. They'll get right down there.
John,
let's
bring up the Carolina Panthers. Not
I don't
the
care.
North Carolina Panthers.
They're in Raleigh. They need to move to Charleston.
Why are we talking about Carolina? This is a playoff.
They need to be the South Carolina Panthers.
Talk to me here. Talk to me about the Cleveland Browns. They are currently in the 6th seed. They are 7-4. Their defense is somehow keeping them in all these games, right? And then you have the Colts at the 7th seed. Houston just outside. They're also 6-5. They just, Indianapolis wins on the tiebreaker. We do have the Port Royal Panther call. That's funny. Not gonna lie.
That was a good one.
But I want to talk about
Carolina Tavern Panthers.
Here we go.
Oh God! Thank you,
Bryce Young, ladies and gentlemen.
Why does he look like a T-Rex from Step Brothers?
because it's Bryce Young.
Oh, God.
Anyway, all right. Serious football here, okay?
All right.
Cleveland is the 6th seed.
It's not going to last.
Between them
Steelers
and the 12th seed, there is only like a 2.5, 3-game distance between the two of them, right? So I'm going to throw a bunch of team names out there, and I want you guys to tell me the 2 teams that you think is going to lock in those wild card spots, right? Or
Colts.
I'm sorry. We'll go with all 3 wild card spots. So Pittsburgh, Cleveland, the Colts, Houston, Denver, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and the Raiders. Give me 3 teams out of that you think take the wild card.
Denver,
Bills,
Pittsburgh, Houston.
Bills, Colts, Pittsburgh.
Bills, Colts, Pittsburgh. Owen, what'd you say?
Denver, Pittsburgh, Houston.
Denver. Okay, sure. I see it. Cleveland's not doing it.
No.
Cleveland's not doing it.
What's their quarterback's name? It's like
Dorian Thompson Robinson. By the
Isn't
way,
he injured?
he is injured. Joe Flacco is starting for the Cleveland
I
Browns
was about
this week.
to say.
Never mind. Cleveland's winning the Super Bowl.
Oh,
you talking about the
Anyway.
2016 MVP, dude?
I believe it was the 2012 MVP.
Ah, yes.
Like 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Matt
Was that Matt Ryan? Was that
Yeah.
Matty Ice's
I
year?
think that was Matty Ice.
Woo! What a bad man.
28-3.
Yeah, basically just the NFC version of Joe Flacco.
I hope the Cleveland O-line just gives up on Joe Flacco.
Anyway, Indianapolis, I love the grit that Indianapolis has been playing with. However, I don't think Indianapolis is going to win enough games down the stretch to kind of get in there. I think Houston gets in. For sure. Houston, like 2 of their 5 losses have come on last-second field goals, as Justin said in the comments earlier. And it's like every single one of their games it's a fight. They're not getting blown out of anyone. Indianapolis is getting blown out of games. Cleveland has the potential to get blown out of games. Houston, not so much. So Houston gets in for sure. I agree Pittsburgh gets in, especially like they were able to stay afloat with Matt Canada, and now Matt Canada's gone.
Kenny Pickett almost at 300 yards.
Kenny Pickett almost at 300 yards. Jalen Warren and Najee Harris emerging as this great 1-2 tandem all of a sudden. Like, holy shit. So, and then their defense is still their defense, which is the real reason that they have the record that they do.
Correct.
But
Oh, God.
literally bullshit. I hope Houston makes it though. So I think Pittsburgh and Houston, and then that last spot is a toss-up. If you were to ask me the best team, I would want to say the Bills, right? Because of the weapons and the previous year's success. And like, if we're gonna deep dive the Bills here for a second, right? Who have their losses been to? They lost to the Eagles, lost to the Broncos, which is interesting now.
The Patriots.
They lost to the
Josh Allen seems to have this weird chameleon thing where he plays at the level of his opponent, and it ends up biting him in the ass.
Yeah. So maybe not look at their losses here. Look at their wins, right?
Okay.
They beat the Raiders with Josh McDaniels. They beat the Commanders in week 3 before Sam Howell figured out the offense.
Yeah.
Then they beat Miami in convincing fashion. But we talked about Miami and their kind of fraudulent nature earlier. Then they beat the Giants. They beat the Giants 14-9. That was not an impressive win by any means.
Disgusting.
Then they lost to the Patriots, and then they beat the Buccaneers, who are 4-7. Then they beat the Jets. So, where's the impressive win? Miami, I guess, is your only reach for an impressive win.
Mm-hmm.
But Let's see here. The Bills. Oh, they're on a bye week this week. So the Bills are on a bye week.
Probably going to lose that. So,
but then they have Kansas City at Kansas City.
L.
Then they have the Dallas Cowboys.
L.
I think they'll get a win against the Chargers. I think they'll bounce back and get a win against the Patriots.
I think they go 4-0 on that stretch.
You think they beat the Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers, and Patriots?
Yeah.
2-2 at best.
Okay.
No.
I think close the season out against Miami.
I'm saying it now. The Bills go 4-0 in this stretch. Let's not forget that they just barely lost this past week to what everyone thinks is the greatest team in this season. And
they also lost to the Denver Broncos and New England Patriots.
Denver's beaten more than just the Bills, though. That's why I actually respect.
We're gonna get into. Don't worry, we're gonna get into Denver. Don't you worry.
What's your excuse for the Patriots and barely beating the Giants and barely beating the Jets?
They still won, though, right?
I guess.
And they didn't barely beat the Jets; they demolished them 32-6.
Yeah, that's.
But they didn't lose to them.
I was thinking of the Giants.
I will say losing to the Patriots and that absolute just disgusting team that they put together is that's awful. But it is the NFL. This isn't college with odds being minus 1,000 in any favor. These are all professional sports teams. It really is any given Sunday. So I don't know. I think the Patriots loss is definitely fraudulent. I think that they should be put on trial for that. But I don't know. I think the Bills go 4-0 in this stretch, and I think that when they come out of the bye, Josh Allen just needed a break. I'll be honest. He does not look himself, and when he comes out of that bye, pending any issues that he might have or kind of injuries that he's tending to, I think he comes out and throws for 300 yards in all 4 of those games. He hits up my guy Stephon Diggs, and Diggs gets 400-yard games. And Gabe Davis finally figures out what he wants to do on that team.
I'll put it this way. I would argue that this is the most Josh Allen, the real Josh Allen that we've seen this year. Makes very ill-advised
turnovers and all.
Yeah. Yes. Makes very ill-advised passes and gets picked off a lot. He has 13 picks on the year. But he also throws for a shit ton of yards. And he throws for touchdowns. It's the Brett Favre point, right?
No, he's a slightly better Jameis Winston.
No.
You're a Carolina fan. You obviously know nothing about football.
He's a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Got the gunslinger.
It's the Brett Favre point, right? People always talk about how great Brett Favre was and stuff like that. Brett Favre is also the NFL all-time leader in interceptions. You know what I mean?
400.
Yeah. It's the nature of the beast with the gunslinger mentality. But he is dating Haley Steinfeld, so kind of balances out. But yeah, I think Buffalo wins. I'm gonna say they win 3 games before the
Who are
end.
they losing to?
They lose to Kansas City and they lose to Dallas. They beat the Chargers. They beat the Patriots and they beat the Dolphins to close the year. I think Miami will have locked up the division by then. So they bench their starters for week 18 or whatever it is. And the Bills have to win to get in. And so they play their starters. They beat the Miami backups and they get that 7 seed. Personally, that's what I see happening. Now, that could all be for naught because the Denver Broncos I can also see the Denver Broncos going 3-2 to finish the season out. The Denver Broncos, I have them losing to the Houston Texans this week.
Mm-hmm.
I have them beating the Chargers next week. I have them losing to the Detroit Lions. And then I have them beating the Patriots. And then they beat the Chargers and the Raiders. So what is that, 4-2, actually? Well, tell you what. They'll beat the Raiders. They'll split the Charger games. I'll put it that way. We'll go that way.
No, I think they sweep the
3-3,
Chargers.
3-3 to finish the year out. That puts them at 9-8, which is the exact same record that we just went through with Buffalo. That would be the exact same record to give them. And Denver beat Buffalo, which means Denver wins the tiebreaker.
Who else did you say they'd lose to? Denver? Detroit, right?
Houston, Detroit, and the Chargers once.
I don't know. Detroit doesn't look as elite as like the beginning of the year would.
Well, it's what happens when you play the best defense on Thanksgiving.
Oh God,
That's what it is.
Not what it is. So what? The Bears are the second best defense.
No. So if you had said that's what happens when you have 4 turnovers against the Chicago Bears, I would have been all on board with that. I would have been like, yes, you're 100% correct.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Now Panthers should be in the CFL. Oh, man, that's funny. Okay. So I think that really wraps up the AFC playoff picture.
Go to the more exciting division.
I kind of talked myself into saying that the Denver Broncos make the playoffs over the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Which is wild to even suggest, but here we fucking are.
Chaney, me and you agree.
Huh?
Me and you agree.
Ew.
Denver, Houston,
never mind. Buffalo's making the playoffs, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. All right. Let's go on to a bit of an easier discussion. The NFC playoff picture. You got the Eagles at 10-1. Okay. I think we got that one.
San Fran.
That's one of those minus 1,000 odds, I would say. The 49ers at the 2 seed, 8-3. The rest of their division, you got Seattle, the Rams, both of that 6-6, 5-6, and then you have the Cardinals at 2-10. So yeah, it's disgusting. Anyway, they'll win that division. They'll get the 2 seed. Detroit, despite their woes as of the past couple weeks, I think they're still going to win the division. They'll still get the 3 seed because there's no shot in hell that the Lions finish with a worse record than whoever wins the NFC South.
Right.
And that means the winner of the NFC South gets the 4th seed. Currently, the Falcons hold it. The Saints also have a 5-6 record, but they just lost to Atlanta, so they would lose the tiebreaker. Then you have Dallas at 9-3 in the 5 seed. I think that's pretty standard. They'll win it for sure at 5 seed, which means the 6 and 7 seed is really the interesting points here. So you have the Vikings at 6-6, and some weeks they look great with Josh Dobbs, and other weeks they lose to the Chicago Bears without giving up a touchdown, which is wild. Then you have the Seattle Seahawks, who have lost 2 in a row now, and I don't believe the Seahawks' schedule gets any easier. Right? So they play the 49ers again this week, or next week, sorry. And then they play the Philadelphia Eagles. Then they'll get a win against the Titans. And then they play the Pittsburgh Steelers on New Year's Eve. I don't think Seattle wins that game. I think Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Port Royal Panthers.
I will say I was impressed with the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Mm-hmm. I thought Geno Smith looked exactly like he did last year, and the reason why he kept the job.
Yep.
I think that.
Chris, what's up to get going?
I go to work at 6.
Oh,
you work nights now?
We're talking about football. Let's focus. This is a podcast. We're not here to chit chat.
That's what we're doing. We're chit chatting.
Yeah, not about my life. No,
quite literally the concept of the podcast. It's what a podcast is.
Did you make first class?
Anyway, but again,
you're not going in. I'm sorry, you're not going into work. You're going into Domino's. Sorry. I would like some. I would like 2 pastas carbonara with a 2 liter of Pepsi.
You can shove that up your ass, John.
All right. Anyway.
Right along with the $50 that Roa owes me.
Let me ask both of you guys this question. Do you think Seattle beats the 49ers?
No.
It's at San Francisco, if that helps.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Do you think they beat the Philadelphia Eagles?
They don't beat the Eagles. Okay. No.
Do they beat Pittsburgh?
I think they have a chance to beat Pittsburgh.
They have a chance to beat Pittsburgh. I'll give them that.
I think it depends on which Seattle Seahawks show up. It could be the Seahawks that lost to the fucking LA Rams, or it could be the Seahawks that we saw last night. They still lost, but they played well.
They should have won that game
offensively. Yes, absolutely.
Tyler Lockett dropped, and that game's a lot different.
Well, I think you put in a different set of referees, and
250 yards of penalties, I think.
I've never seen more arrests on the payroll of the America's team.
It looked suspicious at the end of that game. It did look suspicious at the end of that game.
Mighty suspicious. But
every 3rd and 10 got turned into a first and 10.
Crazy, isn't it?
Down in the red zone.
Yep.
For the weirdest stuff, illegal contacts, all types of weird stuff.
Personally, I don't believe in Pittsburgh. Or not Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. I don't believe in Seattle. I think they lose to Pittsburgh. And they will finish the year with those 3 losses, San Francisco, Philly, and Pittsburgh, to finish 8-9 on the year.
Yeah.
You know who I don't believe in?
Careful.
The Carolina Panthers.
Yes, excellent.
And the Green Bay Packers.
There it is.
Jordan Love is a poor man's. He is a poor man's Dante Culpepper.
All right.
He's a poor man's Donovan McNabb.
Now I'm going to ask you a few questions. Again, this is for the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
Keep in mind, they have a bye now, and they get Justin Jefferson back. But I don't know what's going to happen as far as Josh Dobbs in that offensive line. So, do they beat the Las Vegas Raiders?
I don't think so, man. I think O'Connell has finally figured out how to get Devontae involved.
Yep.
And Jacobs is heating up like he always does second half.
Yep.
And that defense with Max Crosby and just everything is starting to sink.
Yep.
And with the new, coaching arrangement and stuff, I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
Okay, I agree. Do they beat Jake Browning and the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincy?
Yes.
Okay. Do they beat Detroit?
No.
Do they beat Green Bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do they beat Detroit again?
No.
So we said Raiders, Lions. That also puts them at 8-9. Okay? Now, let me ask you guys a few questions. Actually, you know what? Let me ask you a few different teams before we get before we get to the verbal assault that I know is coming. The New Orleans Saints, fresh off the heels of losing to Josh Dobbs with 2 days of tenure with the Minnesota Vikings, and then losing to Arthur Smith.
Don't forget the Falcons lost to that same team.
Yes. Do you think the New Orleans Saints beat the Detroit Lions?
Yes, possibly. I think that is a pretty good possibility.
With Derek Carr at quarterback, Chris Olave potentially not playing due to concussion, Michael Thomas still hurt. Rashid.
No, I don't think they do.
I think the Saints defense has the ability to give Detroit a little bit of problems, and they have the ability to beat them. Do I think they will? Probably not, but I would not be surprised.
Okay. So I'll let you guys know that the Saints is actually a team that I believe has a legitimate shot of getting into the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
And these next few teams is going to be why. Do you think the New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers?
Of course.
Do you think they beat the New York Giants?
Yes.
Do you think they beat the Rams?
No.
I think they dropped that one.
Okay. Do they beat the Buccaneers?
No.
Have they already played the Bucs this year?
They played the Bucs in week 4 and they lost 26-9.
I think they beat them.
Okay. And then do they beat the Falcons on the rematch?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. So, Owen, that's what, 4 wins for you?
Mm-hmm.
And then, John, you have them winning what, 2 games?
Yeah, I don't see them beating. I don't see them beating the Rams. I don't see them beating the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
What were the first 2 teams they were playing?
Detroit, Carolina, and then the Giants. Were the 3.
I see them beating Carolina and the Giants, but not even by much.
Okay.
And then so they would go 2-3.
Okay. So, John, your predictions have them finishing 7-10.
Yeah.
Chris, your predictions have them going 9-8, which would put them over the Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks.
Probably top of the division, depending on how the year goes.
Ooh, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, like let's not. This isn't a
week 18 matchup against the Falcons could be for the division.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Falcons and the Saints aren't just fighting for a wild card spot; they're still fighting for top of the division.
Okay, so let's pivot to the Falcons then. Same questions. Do the Falcons beat the Jets?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think they lose this week.
You think they lose?
Your guys is running totals if they're since they're separate. Do they beat the Buccaneers?
I don't think so.
I think they lose that.
Okay. Do they beat the Panthers?
Yes.
Okay. Do they beat the Colts?
No.
Do they beat the Bears?
I don't think so.
I think they beat the Bears, but not pretty. It's not pretty.
Okay. And then do they beat the Saints in week 18?
No.
Okay. Chris, with that in mind, what was their final record in the final?
For me, they win 2 more games.
And John?
I think they win 1.
Ooh, okay. So with that in mind, Chris, you have them finishing 7-10. And John, you have them finishing 6-11, which I think is outside of the playoffs altogether for both of them. Let's go to the Rams now, okay? The Rams are also 5-6 currently. Do they beat the Browns, led by Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they beat the Ravens?
I think they beat the Ravens.
It's at Baltimore.
That's tough.
I think it's a very tough game.
Okay.
But let's be honest. The Ravens right now, like,
they're going through some injuries.
They're going through some injuries. I don't know. You know what? I take that back. I think they lose to the Ravens, but it's not going to be it's going to be a shootout kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think
they
lose
Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
I don't think they beat the Commanders, man.
I like it. Gimme Howell, baby.
That defense is god awful.
It's god awful, but
so is the Rams.
Rams at least have Aaron Donald against the most sacked QB in the league.
QB4 in fantasy.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. What did you tell me the other day? Don't use fantasy football to make your bets.
Oh, you're correct. That is correct. So let me retract that. and let me get some proper ammunition to defend my captain.
Oh, captain, my captain. Okay.
Exactly.
You talking about Sam Howell?
I am talking about Sam Howell.
I think Sam Howell's great. I think eventually the Commanders will figure it out, maybe when they change back to the Redskins. But this year is just not it. Like, just don't even risk him. Don't even put him out on the field. Just keep him nice and safe on the bench.
Sam Howell leads the NFL in passing attempts.
Yep.
Leads the NFL in passing yards.
Lost
John there. I don't know if
he's coming back.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry about that.
There he is. Sam Howell is 5th in passing yards per game.
Uh-huh.
Sam Howell is tied for 10th for passing touchdowns with Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff.
Okay.
He is tied for the most interceptions, which is correct. And then he is leading the NFL in sacks.
What is he on pace?
By 15 sacks.
What is he on pace for? Does it say for sacks? Like, is he going to be the most sack QB in NFL history?
Let's see.
Taking over David Carr.
QB single season ever.
It's David Carr.
Yeah. 76 sacks for David Carr.
My. And what's he at right now?
55.
Oh, yes. He will probably be the most sack QB in the league.
Possible. Anyway, back to the Rams.
Okay.
Do they beat the Saints?
I don't think so.
What did I say?
Didn't I say, though, that the Saints were going to lose to the Rams?
I think we both said that the Saints were going to lose to the Rams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they lose.
I think they lose that one.
Giants.
They beat them.
W.
49ers.
Loss.
L.
It's week 18. Might be the backups.
If it's that, then the Rams will probably win. Especially if they have playoff hopes.
I don't think Sam Darnold to go out and torch the fucking Washington Commanders.
I don't think that even with the 49ers like being already like clinched, I don't think they allow a team to just enter the playoffs without.
You think they step on their neck?
Yeah, I think they play their starters for like most of that game, honestly. Even for like some stat padding for McCaffrey, I could really see it.
I don't think they'll risk the expense of their own team's Super Bowl hopes, especially after losing Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship last year. I don't think they'll risk their own team's hopes just to keep a 7 seed out, especially if this is for the Rams to get into the 7 seed. The Niners would be the 2 seed. They would automatically play them the week afterwards
and then just destroy them.
Yeah. So, but I also think, in my humble opinion, the Rams lose to the San Francisco backups. I think it would happen because you got to think.
Elijah Mitchell
to be the backups? Elijah Mitchell, Sam Darnold, who has experience as an NFL starting quarterback.
Gross.
I don't necessarily know what it means for the passing game, but to me,
leave Debo in there. Let him just. He's going to get hurt no matter what.
Why? So he can snap his knee.
Yeah,
he gets hurt. He gets hurt when he's not even playing.
It's true. It's very true. But anyway, I believe that also puts the Rams around that 7-10 conversation for you guys. I think.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. It's like after the top 4 teams in the NFC, it kind of really falls off.
Well, you're forgetting about one that we're about to go through right now. He was scared of talking about Green Bay. Is that what it was?
It's the time of the show that I've been waiting for.
All right. Green Bay, currently 5-6. Oh, here we go.
We got to
keep getting fucking done. My bad.
We gotta go in depth though. We can't just say that Green Bay is going to lose their next 5 games. We have
God, are we talking about this?
I swear. Well, yes, Green Bay is 5-6 currently. They are half a game out of the wild card spot.
I want to just say that, like, all right, read their schedule first, go ahead.
Kansas City.
L.
It's okay. You can say it.
Loss.
Okay. The Giants.
I think
you better not fucking say an L because I know you're being biased little bitches.
I think that they win, but by the skin of their teeth. And I think that I don't know, man.
It's gonna be a stressful day for Chaney.
I think Don DeVito. I think he. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's an L, but just barely. It's a fringe L.
Oh no, we lost him. So anyway. Oh hey dude, I'm sorry. I think we lost you there.
Didn't you say Chaney was the dictator?
Yeah, dictator in the podcast, dictator in the fantasy league.
He doesn't like what he's hearing. Throw that propaganda out the window.
Yep.
Never happened.
Call me. You just got stuck by Chaney.
Thank you, Elon Musk.
Okay.
Me and Owen support free press.
The Buccaneers.
L.
Wow.
I'm not even being biased, Chaney. Like they're 1-2 right now.
That's
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. The Panthers.
I think that Bryce Young, I think. They win. They win that.
The Vikings.
I think that's an L, but I think it's barely an L, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game.
The Bears.
What?
Win. The Bears.
Win.
I don't know, man.
Oh God, John, come on, man.
I think they go either 3-3, man, or wait, was that 6 games
2-4?
or 7? They have 6 games left. I think they either go 2-4 or 3-3.
Okay. Well, here's what's actually going to happen.
They're going to win out is what Chaney's going to say.
No. This is an actual realistic fucking game, thing, besides you two thinking something that I'm about to risk demonetizing my own channel for. So, we're going to lose to the Chiefs. Get that. We got it. We're going to beat the Giants. It's absolutely disrespectful to even suggest that we lose to the Giants. The Buccaneers is interesting, but it's December in Green Bay. It's a win.
I want you to clip what you just said about the Giants game, and then we'll come back to it after that game.
Yeah. This is live, so the recording will fucking be there.
Owen's not very tech savvy.
No, he's not. It's that North Carolina public education.
You don't know fucking shit about running a podcast, Owen.
Yeah. Department of Education from the state of North Carolina really popped off with him.
Clearly, Chaney doesn't either. He needs Corey to do everything for him.
Corey is the MVP, by the way.
First of all, Corey is the MVP. And second, I will defend Corey with my fucking life.
I was not talking
Corey
shit
has
Corey.
elevated this channel. Corey has elevated this channel to heights that Justin and I never.
No one wants to see your barracks floor, Owen.
Yeah.
Take us out of Bay South.
Anyway, we're going to beat the Bucs at Lambeau. We're going to beat Carolina. I'll give you the loss to Minnesota. Okay? I'll give you the loss to Minnesota. Is it
go 4-2?
Yes. But I'll give it to you. We're going to beat the Bears. The fact that we beat the Bears easily without, even before this offense, found its, rhythm.
Wasn't that the best offensive game you guys had this year?
I believe up until the last couple. Well, I mean, like points scored. I don't know about yards.
Okay.
It wasn't Jordan Love's best game. His best game was the Chargers last week against the Lions and then Chicago.
Can I get my defense of why I don't think they're going to go 500 in the next 6?
No. Anyway, you can have it in a second. But with that being said, Green Bay is going to go 4-2 over the next with wins against the Giants, Bucks, Panthers, Bears. Could be 5-1 with the Vikings. Who knows? But I'm going to give you the Minnesota one. That's 4-2.
Chaney's fantasy dreams are living vicariously through Green Bay right now.
Actually, you know what? Let me even do this. I'll say we drop the Buccaneers game. That makes us 8-9. Okay? That makes us 8-9. And who were the other teams that we said were going 8-9? Was it
I think
the Seahawks.
Saints?
No, it wasn't the Seahawks. It was the Saints. And
But that's irrelevant because if they go 8-9, they take the division.
yeah.
The Saints.
The Saints, yeah. I was gonna say Green Bay's not taking the division.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was like, hold
so
on.
If you're talking about a wild card spot,
yeah,
it's irrelevant about the Saints. So
we're not talking about the Saints, Owen. We're talking about Green Bay.
So
Okay.
you said the Rams are going what, 7-10?
Yeah, we said 7-10.
Yeah, the Rams are
the Falcons.
Seattle was going what, 8-9?
No,
Yeah.
I think we put that the Falcons were actually going to go.
No, you both said the Falcons were either going 6-11 or 7-10.
Yeah, John, you have a terrible fucking memory.
I just don't want Green Bay to make it.
Oh, I know you don't.
I still have to
Everyone
make pairs.
outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin, wants Green Bay to go 0-6 for the rest of the year, and I fucking love it.
I want to go camping
because Green Bay is going at least 8-9, holding tiebreakers over the Rams and Saints. So if the Falcons somehow hold on to the division and the Saints are trying for a wild card spot, Green Bay's getting it over them. Seattle, we said, was going, 8-9, I think, was it, at best?
Yes.
Minnesota also going 8-9 at best.
I thought we had the Saints going 8-9 and winning their division.
Well,
We're talking about wild card spots.
If the
No,
Saints
I know.
go 8-9, the Saints, honestly, is irrelevant up to this point because they're either winning the division or they're not making the playoffs. The way that this is boiling down to, because if they don't win the division, they're getting knocked out by Green Bay because Green Bay holds a tiebreaker over them. So
You want me to get my analysis now?
I never wanted you to, but go on.
So with the games that they have remaining,
Yeah.
I don't think that the combination of whatever Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jordan Reed, whoever his name is.
Get some respect on him. Thank you.
Whatever his name is. Luke Musgrave, if he's even healthy.
No, he's not. He has a lacerated kidney. He'll be on IR.
Okay. So basically, Chaney, what I'm getting at
Tucker Kraft is the backup, by the way.
Awesome. Basically, what I'm getting at is that they have no weapons. They have no plan.
Oh.
Is Jair Alexander even healthy?
Interesting. Jaden Reed, no weapons.
Is Jair Alexander even healthy right now?
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't in good conscience say that Green Bay is going to they're definitely not going to win out. I think it was respectable that I said they go 3-3. Could we go over the losses that Green Bay has had?
Sure. Okay. Lost to Atlanta week 2. That was hard to swallow.
Let's go over week 1.
We didn't lose week 1, so We beat the Bears by 18 week 1. We can go over that. If you like.
I was saying
you were trying to make a different point.
No. I was asking, let's go over every game, but I did say every loss. So
sure, we can go over every game. Week 1, 38-20 over Chicago, at Chicago. That was a great week. I'm just saying. It was a great start to the season.
It was Chicago. Continue.
Lost in Atlanta by 1. That was tough. That was
great game.
That was tough. Week 3, beat the Saints by 1. Jordan Love led a 18 we were down 17-0.
I remember this.
Love turned into fucking Tim Tebow in the fourth quarter and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking win this." Then the skid happened. Lost to the Lions, lost to the Raiders, lost to the Broncos, and then we lost to the Vikings. And then we beat the Rams 20-3. Lost to the Steelers by 4. Beat the Chargers. And then beat the Lions last week.
I will say that Green Bay has had a pretty tough schedule.
Comparatively to like what they are as a team, sure.
Yeah. I will say that in fairness, I think that they still go 500 with a possibility of going 2-4 during that stretch. But I think that regardless, they're still better than most AFC teams, so that's all that really matters.
Well, nope, I wouldn't say that.
Wait, you said
better than most of the NFC teams.
I think that they're better than I think they're better than a decent amount of AFC. I think they're better than Tennessee.
Let's see. They're better than the Patriots, sure. They're better than the Jets, which is hilariously ironic. Better than the Titans. They proved they're better than the Chargers. I would probably put them on par with like the Raiders. Is probably where I would like place that.
And you think they deserve to be in the playoffs?
In the NFC picture, sure.
Okay.
If Green Bay was in the AFC, I would absolutely not think they deserve to be in the playoffs. But they aren't, so they are.
Yeah. No, hearing your biased but still fair depiction of your team, I do hope that they do something, but I don't know. I would love another Pittsburgh and Green Bay rematch.
Sounds like the most boring game ever.
I don't know.
You keep talking, Carolina.
Yeah. When's the last time the Panthers have been in a Super Bowl?
I got this one. I can answer this one. Go ahead, Owen.
2015.
There you go. Well, it was the 2015 season.
When's the last time they won a Super Bowl, Owen? When's the last
2015 regular season, 2016. Yes.
Owen, when's the last time they won a Super Bowl?
They haven't won a Super Bowl.
That's pain. Can't relate. Anyway, moving on.
2010, and when was the last one for you? 2012, John?
When was the last time for the Panthers? Owen, never.
It's true.
You guys don't have shit going for you.
Nope.
Yeah, chug that Coke.
But hey, Ray Caruth is out of prison, so that's good.
I think the Panthers need to get Steve Smith back out there. They need to get Caruth back out there. Who's the other dude that went to prison for the Panthers?
He didn't go to prison, but he's fighting in the UFC right now. Greg Hardy.
No, the guy, the Panthers dude, the wide receiver who went to prison like back in like 2012, 2013 for killing someone.
That was Ray Caruth. It was accessory murder.
That was Caruth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get those guys back on there. I don't know. Maybe you guys go 3-14 next year.
Bring back Jake Delhomme.
Bring back Robbie Anderson.
Best Carolina quarterback to ever grace the NFL.
I hate you. So
right ahead of Jimmy Clausen. Anyway, you guys want to play a fun little game here?
Yeah.
Real quick, and then I got to go.
All right. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. It's called the Immaculate Grid. Okay. So it's going to be a 9x9 grid. And here, it's better if I just pull it up here. Boom. Okay. You got the Cowboys, Raiders, and Rams across, Buccaneers, Colts, and a player with 50-plus sacks in their career. Each square, like Sudoku, you have to match a player that played on both the Cowboys and the Bucs in that square. A player that played on both the Cowboys and the Colts, and a Cowboy that had 50-plus sacks in his career. Make sense?
This is where I'm. My brain's gonna shut off. But yeah,
It would have had to be turned on first. So wherever you guys want to start. Usually the stats are easy. It doesn't have to be a current player. It can be a previous player in their history.
give me DeMarcus Ware. 50-plus sacks.
Give me Dwight Freeney.
You said DeMarcus Ware?
Yeah.
All right.
Give me Dwight Freeney.
For where?
For the Colts.
Colts and what?
I thought he played for one of those other teams as well, but maybe not.
Okay. So we'll use this as a practice run, and then we'll grab a different grid, and then I'm going to put you guys head to head, if that's okay. So, like in my head,
old Warren Sapp.
Did Warren Sapp play for the Raiders?
He definitely played for more than just the Bucs.
I think he did play for the Raiders.
We'll give her a go.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Also, there's a little percentage up at the top of each, and that's actually the rarity. The higher the percentage, the more common the answer is for that square. And if you get one of the top 3 most rare answers for it, it'll be either gold, silver, bronze, whatever the case is. So,
okay.
Let's see here.
Tough.
I want to say Eric Weddle played for the Rams and Colts.
You are correct, I think. Yeah.
And I was incorrect. So now, lost a guess.
Rams, Bucks, Cowboys, Bucks.
Who's the Raiders' most fucking best pass rusher of all time?
Well, I don't think it's right, but I'm just going to guess him. Khalil Mack.
That's who I was thinking. There you go.
Bang. All right.
Now I would assume Aaron Donald.
That's who I was thinking too, Aaron Donald.
So we're gonna go. These are gonna be the obvious ones here, right? So
yeah. Preston Smith.
For whom?
I think he played for the Cowboys, and then he played for someone else too.
Preston Smith played for Washington and Green Bay.
Oh, I was thinking of someone else. Ooh, I got one.
There you go.
Dude with the collar, with the big collar. He actually played at Upper St. Clair as well for the Cowboys, and he moved on to play, I think, for the Rams. Was it name linebacker? Oh, Van Der Esch. Has Van Der Esch played anywhere other than just?
No, he's played for Dallas.
Played for the Cowboys.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I got you one here. Good old Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
Justin has a nice little poll.
How about Charles
comments? Mr. Cole Beasley.
Oh.
Right, he played for the Bucks.
Yeah, gross, but yeah.
Bang. Look at that. 16%.
Oh.
That's the rarity piece. If it was rarer, it would have been like bronze or silver or gold. But you want to get that percentage as low as possible. There's some points calculation that takes that into effect. I don't remember exactly what it is.
Amari Cooper.
Where are we at?
No, there's no Cowboy and Raider square.
Oh, he would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Bucks, Rams.
Appreciate the help, Justin. The old lifeline.
Oh man, I'm thinking of someone for the Colts.
Oh,
Corey with the nice poll.
who's that?
Mr. Baker fucking Mayfield.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, sir.
Who's the guy that just went crazy from the Raiders?
Chandler Jones.
Yeah, Chandler Jones. Didn't he play for the Colts and the Raiders?
No, he played for the Cardinals and the Raiders.
Oh, the Cardinals. That's right.
How about Whitworth? He had a long career. Didn't he play with anyone else other than just the Rams?
I think Andrew Whitworth was only Rams.
Ooh, you know what? Who was the wide receiver that is on that show? I know that's not helpful at all, but he what the hell was his name? He played with the Tampa Bay and Warren Sapp like back in when they won the Super Bowl, and he came from another team. I forget what it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So the ones remaining is they have to play with the Colts and Raiders, and then
Colts and Raiders or Colts and Bucks?
Oh, Colts and Bucks.
Or Colts and Raiders.
Oh man.
We only have one guest left. So
yeah,
I don't know why this name's popping in my head. Darius Leonard.
Darius Leonard played for the Colts his entire career. He just got released.
He did? Okay. He hasn't played for anybody else? Okay.
Nope. Think like journeyman quarterbacks here, right? Like there's a lot of different journeymen that, over the years did their thing.
Did Fitzpatrick ever play for any of these teams?
Fitzpatrick played for the Rams. He also played for the Bucks, so he would have been another like Ram Buck poll.
How about for this? I think the Colts guy that I was thinking about earlier, he wasn't a wide receiver. It was Dallas
Carson Wentz. Colts Rams. Carson Wentz.
Dallas Clark.
I don't know if Dallas Clark ever played for the Raiders.
Did you guys hear mine?
I heard yours.
Carson Wentz just signed with the Rams.
I'm trying to think of like who would be the more rarer answer.
I think Dallas Clark.
All right, we'll give Dallas Clark a go. We know that Carson Wentz is the right one, right? No, he did not. So let's see here. And then let's see here. The most, okay. Marshall Faulk played for the Colts and Rams. Eric Dickerson played for both. And let's see here. Nick Foles played for both.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, he played for who? He
Colts
played
Rams.
for. Yeah. Okay.
Trying to see like any other good names here. Not really seeing a lot of the kicker Matt Gay.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Played for the boys and for the old
Yep.
for the Rams.
So
let's do another one.
Yeah, real quick before I have to get off.
I want to grab a couple polls here for Colts and Raiders. Journeyman quarterback Kerry Collins. And then Justin actually got it in the comments. Brian Hoyer played for both teams.
Justin is the historical what's it called? He's the archiver. I'm gonna call him the archiver now.
Receiver Darius Hayward Bay also played.
Justin knows more about football than most people, or he's forgotten more about football than most people know.
All right, this was yesterday's. Okay. So we'll need a 49er and a Seahawk, a Texan and a Seahawk that has passed for 3,000 yards in a season.
Hasselbeck.
Jets, Niners, Texans, Jets, a Jet quarterback that's thrown for 3,000 yards in a season, a Panther 49er, Panther Texan, and a Panther that threw for 3,000 passing yards in a season. This, by the way, is going to be a contest. We're not going to talk about points. I'm going to ask one of you to give me an answer for one square, and then we're going to go to the next one. Whoever gets the most correct at the end will be the victor. Okay?
All right.
I wish I had a fucking coin. I really wish I had a fucking coin that I could flip to see who goes first. But real quick, John, what'd you say Green Bay's final record was going to be? You said they were going 2-4. Owen, what'd you say they were going?
I said in their run they'd go 2-4.
Both of you said 2-4. Well, there goes that. Fuck it. We're going to flip a remote. All right. Owen, call it in the air.
Buttons.
Okay. You're going first.
Give me Richard Sherman, Niners, Seahawks.
Richard Sherman, Niners, Seahawks. You're on the board. John.
I can pick any square.
Except for the Niners, Seahawks.
For the 300-plus passing yards.
3,000.
Or 3,000. Give me Joe Namath for the Jets.
Ooh. Joe Namath on the board. Justin, refrain from helping. I just want to see who wins. That's all. Owen, back to you.
Give me Jake Delhomme, Carolina.
And the passing?
Yeah.
Jake Delhomme on the board. You're up 2-1. John, back to you.
For the Seahawks, give me, I guess it's kind of an obvious one. Give me Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson on the board, tied at 2. Owen, back to you.
Oh, God, I can't remember that fucking guy's name. He played for...
That would be imperative to the game.
I know. Thank you. Asshole. Oh, God. This is difficult. No, he didn't. Fuck, what's his name? Texans, Panthers, Jets, Texans, Panthers, Niners. Hang on. No, he's in the Dolphins. Oh, fuck, it's not Jets, Panthers. God damn it. I can't. I don't think this is his real name, but I'm just gonna throw it out. His name was that guy who knelt with fucking Kaepernick for Niners Panthers. Like he was a fucking safety or cornerback or something.
I kind of need his name.
I know, Eric Bell. Eric Bell. I don't think that's his name though. Eric Bell.
Eric Bell is your final answer?
Yeah.
For Niners Panthers?
I don't even think that's I don't think that's. I think his last name was Bell, but Eric Bell. Yeah. Nope. Wrong.
So that was such a wrong answer that it won't even count it against you. But I'm counting it against you.
Of course. Yeah.
That will be incorrect. John, back to you.
So I've been thinking, and I was trying to remember who was throwing, because I remember talking about Andre Johnson earlier. Yep. I think David Carr played for 2 of these teams. I think he played for the Texans and I think Carolina. I don't think the Jets. I think I'm going to say David Carr. I just remember. I remember thinking about him.
That is correct. Great pull for John. Up 3-2. Owen,
Yes.
back to you.
God damn it.
Great poll on David Carr. I didn't think that was correct. That was insane poll, actually. Good job.
Oh my God. I was thinking about David Carr earlier, and I was trying to remember if he played. I knew he didn't play for the Jets, though.
Yeah.
All right, this might be wrong, but I have to go, so let me just throw it out. Give me Ryan Fitzpatrick for the Texans and the Jets.
And that will be correct. John, back to you.
Shit.
Tied at 3.
Let me just think. Let me think. Trying to think of someone. So I got only things available. I have Panthers and 49ers, right?
Panthers, Niners, Jets, Niners, or Seahawks and Texans?
Ooh. Trying to think of someone that played in all these places. I can't take up the line forever.
Jesus, Owen. Good Lord. You can unmute yourself, Owen, when your phone's acting right. I'm going to need an answer.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Let me go with Steve Young playing with both the Jets and the 49ers. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
That would be incorrect.
All right. I think this is wrong, but again, I'm just going to throw it out. All right, fine. I can't remember if he ever did. Did Terrell Owens ever play for the Jets and the Niners?
I don't know. Is that your answer?
Yes. T.O.
Terrell Owens did not play for the Jets and Niners. Played for the Niners, just not the Jets. John, you can win it with one answer right here. You are tied at 3 apiece. One guess left. This is for the win.
Oh, man. Wait, how dumb are we? Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, my fucking God.
Oh, my God, bro.
For the win, the easiest fucking home run in the world. Christian McCaffrey walks it off for John. Once again, Christian McCaffrey is the bane of Owen's existence.
Oh, my
God.
Yikes.
Oh,
Another
my
answer
God.
we discussed earlier in the show was Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah.
In all fairness, I don't know if it required them to like play a down if they actually have any stats or if they just have to be on the roster. So I don't know. But yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I'm a fucking loser, so I got to go. But I appreciate you having me on. It was fun.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
All right,
Bye,
later.
Owen.
Bye.
I'm going to go 4-0 against you this week.
Fuck you, John.
I still can't believe we forgot about Christian McCaffrey.
Huge thank you to Chris Owen for coming on the show. And as well, that's actually going to be it for us. We're right around our time constraint. So huge thank you to you, John, as well. Super happy that you're back in the States and on a regular time schedule to be able to do this type of stuff with us. We are here every Friday evening. What I am now personally affectionately calling it as Friday Night Lights. And join us Sunday morning as well. We do call-ins on OnlyFantasy, presented by CheesyCorn Sports. Get your last-minute start-sit decisions in before the games start. Not really trade requests anymore, but yeah. Huge thank you to John and Chris for hopping on today, really holding it down with me while Justin was out being responsible. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of like the new different type of format, like the games and really just the fun discussions, really. You know, we're always accepting call-ins. We're always accepting great, guests on the show and stuff. So until next time, I'm Cheese. Corn is somewhere in a cornfield. Thank you all for joining tonight, and we will catch you Sunday morning. Peace.